Right, if this Mark Johnson guy gives me any more penalties, he is going to regret it.
So now we're going to tell
Why was that a penalty? He brake checked me! Right, you want to fight me?
Before you get all physical with me, you hit. Ow, that hurt. Why did you kick me?
Justin Sampson is a pussy.
Oh dear. If Justin Sampson saw that, he would go absolutely mental. Funnily enough, a day after that video emerged, Justin Sampson was looking on the internet and he found it. This is what his reaction was.
What the Why would anyone call me that? That is going to regret it.
So, Justin's now heading to the back of the garage and ready for Catalonia. So here is Q1. He has had trouble. This is probably one of his weakest tracks on the calendar. He's currently in 23rd at the moment. He runs a little bit deep at turn 1. This is his final lap in Q2, by the way, where he had a chance. But he understeers slightly going into turn 3. Now he gets a reasonable exit, used a bit of the green turf. Now going into turn 4, he gets an okay exit. Heading into turn 5, how's he going to get this braking? He gets it decent. It's a good drive off the corner. Now into turn 6 and 7. Heading into Camp's Corner. It's been a reasonable lap apart from the first chicane, but it's the rest of the lap where he might have an issue. He's been having issues throughout the session in this final chicane because he's spammed there quite a few times in qualifying, because chicane on F1 in 2010, the final chicane, you can't take the same line as the AI cars, which really costs you time. There's nothing you can do. Into the final chicane. I think that's a weak point in the game. You have to miss the apex. But now across the line goes Justin. Where is he going to go? He's in 23rd, so he'll be starting 23rd for the Spanish Grand Prix. So here we go then. We have the lights in Catalonia. It's lights out and away we go, and Justin gets a reasonable start. He tucks up behind Buemi, but he loses a lot in a straight line, as has been his problem with the start. It's the second phase of the start. As he heads into turn 1, it's a problem with the Virgin car, because Degrassi's having problems as well. He goes around the outside of Buemi. There's a bit of contact there, but he's unable to progress through the field. Now heading into the long turn 3. Not really much to report. And now heading into turn 4. You can see he's faster than Buemi at the start of the lap. But is he going to be able to do anything? Yes, he is. He's going to get down the inside of Sebastian Buemi going into turn 5. And Justin is up to 22nd, but obviously he'll be wanting to get a lot higher than that later in the race. So now moving on to lap 2. He heads into the chicane. I said that he'd been having problems with this chicane over the course of the weekend. But he has spun it. He has done a 360-degree spin. And he's also taken off his teammates. And he was furious.
Why do you set up my car? How's everybody else able to go over that curve with no trouble when I spin when I go over it? You
do realise you just took out your teammate?
I don't give a. You set up my car wrong. That's that.
As you can see, he then spins again and drops behind his teammate. He seems to be having real problems with the corner. The way the car's set up on this game means that you cannot hit the apex of that corner without spinning, which is a real problem, which in my opinion is one of the game's weak points. But anyway, now we're about to skip onto lap 7. So on lap 7, Justin pitted. But he wanted me to do something impossible in the pit stop.
Okay, in this pit stop, can you please make sure you update the balance on my car so I don't spin whenever I go over that curb?
Sorry, but it's not possible to change parts like that in the pit stop.
Oh, that's bull. You're such a lazy.
So a bit of rudeness there from Justin, but he now pits for his only scheduled stop. And he is going to rejoin the race, still in last. And there is some traffic that is about to lap us, which could cause a problem later in the race. Eventually, as Justin was eventually lapped, I decided to make my move on what I thought was best for the rest of the season. This is what I said to him. Okay, Justin, stop the car, we need to save the engine, stop the car. But he had other ideas.
What? You? Why do you want me to stop the car? I'm racing. Why do you want me to stop the car?
Because we want to save the engine in case we have an engine failure later. So, if I was you, I'd stop the car.
No, I'm not stopping the car. You can't tell me what to do, you. So why do you want me to stop the car? I am continuing, you know.
Okay, you can continue, but don't blame me if you lose an engine over a pointless race. Okay, so here Justin was refusing to do what I was telling him to do. Now it's at this point of the race that I promised a couple of people at college that I was going to give them a shout out in this video. Now I don't know how they actually want me to do it, but what I'm actually going to do is first going to give a shout out to Tom. Not sure how they want me to do it, so I'm going to say their first name. I might add their channel link if they have one in the description. And also a girl called Rosie, who I promised I'd give a shout out, so I'm going to give them one in this video. Things didn't improve for the rest of the race for Justin Sampson. He had to spend it moving over to let faster cars through, mainly because he had absolutely no pace due to that corner. So it's now the final lap, and Justin's going round the penultimate corner, and he spins it, and he was very angry.
Oh, for sake, that just sums it up. Why do I have to cope with this? You set up my car wrong, you.
Obviously a very angry Justin Sampson then rounds the final corner and finishes a lap down in last place out of all the finishers. A very disappointing race for Justin Sampson, and I'm sure he will be hoping for better things in Monaco. Obviously he's finished 23rd, a lap down Degrassi, also a lap down Petrov retired, so it wasn't 24th. But he's hoping for better luck. In the driver's standings he's dropped behind Trulli, and in the constructors Virgin are now last. So, as you heard just there, Justin was in a very agitated mood during that race. But maybe the reason why he was in such an agitated mood, and why he reacted to everything, is because he's still affected by this.
Justin Sampson is a pussy.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. We'll see you next week for Monte Carlo.